Another big problem I see with quiz questions is obvious or confusing answers. So here's an example. We got a multiple choice question and there's 5 possible answers with radio buttons that you can select. What problems do you see here? The first 3 look like they make sense, right? They're simple names. Now this one, A and B. Now we can guess that A and B means this and this, but can you really be sure? Sometimes people put in A, B, C, and none of the answers are actually labeled as such in Storyline or Captivate. Or none of the above. Maybe it's none of the above? I'm not really sure. Here is a better redesign. No more A and B, no more none of the above. There's 3 possible answers, and the correct answer is one of these, okay? And you'll notice that each of these is structured exactly the same. Each one is 2 names connected by the word and. So they're all parallel, and if you're well prepared for this, it's very clear who it is, but the other 2 answers are people that were also involved in similar fields, so they're really good distractors, because if someone's not sure and they've heard these names before, they're not going to be able to guess and get it correctly as easily as they would be if it was something really obvious, like, Benjamin Franklin. Okay, we know that he didn't discover the structure of DNA. So make your answers realistic, both the correct answer, obviously, and the distractor answers. Above all, align your quiz questions to learning objectives. Think about what you want your learners to actually be able to do once they finish a tutorial. Do they actually need to memorize information, or do they need to just be able to apply information? For instance, do they need to actually memorize the weights of periodic elements like we saw in that first quiz question? Or could they have a handout maybe that has the periodic table with all the weights, and then they could use that to answer the quiz question? So consider what you want them to be able to actually do, whether you want them to memorize something or be able to apply something, maybe using a handout or just their own common sense. Multiple choice questions are really common in online tutorials because they can be graded really easily automatically. But when you use these, all answers should be the same length and similar grammatically. It can be really obvious sometimes which is a correct answer and which is definitely not a correct answer, and that's not good quiz design. All the answers should be basically plausible and realistic. The wrong answers are called distractors. They shall be plausible, again, similar grammatically, and things that are related to the topic at hand, so they do make truly good distractors, and it keeps learners from guessing correctly as easily. And it's just good practice to avoid all, none of the above, or answers like A and B, just because it gets more confusing and the learner is spending more time figuring out the logic of answering a question than just being able to express what they know or don't know. If you want some great resources for quiz design, I've got a couple here. I'll put these into the video notes below. Check both of these out. I really enjoyed the podcast episode from Elearning Coach on how to plan, design, and write tests. If you're a huge instructional design nerd like me, you will also enjoy it very much. It really kind of changed my life when it came to quiz writing.